Good morning. Thank you for tuning in. Today is Saturday, March 22nd, 2014. This video is about Death Stars. In the movie Star Wars, they teach you that the Jedi meditate on light to increase their power of the Force of Spirit. And they talk about the Death Stars that the Empire had, and that these Death Stars were planet-sized objects, mechanical machines that went around destroying planets. I would like to add a new spin to that. If you go online and you do a search for NASA sun objects and then look up UFO stealing plasma from the sun and then engages warp, you'll actually find a video of the sun in rotation from NASA, and as it's rotating, an object comes with the rotation of the sun around into the view of the camera, and you can clearly see that it has created several vortexes, possibly tornado-like vacuums that are sucking plasma right off of the surface of the sun. And as this object, which is actually a planet-sized object that's round like a planet, comes into the view of the camera, it shoots away from the sun at a tremendous speed. Now, I would just like to point out that it may be that in the movie Death Stars were used to destroy planets by blowing them up. But what if in real life there really is something like an empire, and they really use Death Stars, but a Death Star is just that. It's a planet-sized mechanical object that's used to kill stars. Now, if you suck enough fuel off of a planet or off of a star, what's going to happen? Well, what's going to happen is the star will run out of fuel, and stars have lifespans. So as the star nears the end of its life and a certain type of fuel is used up, the star expands and becomes what's known as a red giant. That's the final stages of a star. If you go into a star system and you steal enough fuel from a star, the star will enter this stage prematurely. You're speeding up the death rate of the star. And all the planets in that solar system that are close to the star will be destroyed when the star expands. Now, the reason I'm talking about all this is because it's little known information, but many planet-sized objects have been spotted around our star, and this video is the first video that actually shows them doing something to our star. And I gotta tell you, if there's planet-sized objects coming into contact with our sun, I doubt seriously that they're giving it fuel. And if they were, then they certainly would have come and contacted us and told us, hey, we're going to help you out by saving your star and helping it to live longer. In fact, there is still a lot of lies and deception going on about extraterrestrials or contact with somebody from another star system. So whenever you're dealing with lies and deception, you're most likely dealing with the Empire. As history has recorded, the Roman Empire told a lot of lies and did a lot of deceiving. So whenever we look at empires, we see a lot of this lying and deception going on. Now, in New York, they actually produce license plates to say the Empire State. And what you'll find is there's a lot of lying and deceiving going on by the people in New York. So it doesn't surprise me at all to discover that they actually, are declaring themselves the Empire State. Not all the people there are bad, of course. There's always some good mixed in, and those people are fighting against the evil element. However, if the people that are a part of the Empire are in control in New York, then those good people have a fight on their hands, and they can't sit back and say, oh well, I'll just focus on love and compassion and peace and everything will be hunky-dory. They have to recognize the danger, and they have to face it and deal with it. And we all have to recognize the danger and face and deal with it. Do not turn your back to a murderer, or they will stab you. That's just what cowards do. And these parasites that feed on societies that live throughout the universe, apparently, these parasites have no intention of doing anything for your benefit. Their intention is to destroy you, and they will use whatever means at their disposal that they have. This is why I implore people to help me to demand peace. Because if we demand peace as a people from our government, then we can empower the government to take a stand against these occult organizations and murderers, these parasites that are controlling the financial institutions, and now apparently have some control over certain military aspects, including the military-industrial complex, and have some control within the government, but not total control. So just remember, demanding peace doesn't mean pretending like the evil isn't there. When I meditate on love and compassion and the light, but I don't ignore the dark element, because if I do, then they'll stab me in the back. I recognize that they send many people out to distract me during my meditation exercise, to try to confuse me, and like I said in one of my other videos called Don't Assume, they love to send beautiful young teenage or college age girls out to talk to me, and really they're just a distraction for the public. They're trying to distract from my message and get people to focus on this beautiful woman that's standing next to me. That's because society objectifies beautiful women, and that is an attribute that is an attribute of an engineered society, most likely engineered by parasites. So think about this message. Go watch the video about the planet-sized object stealing fuel from our sun, and consider that a Death Star may not destroy planets, they may destroy stars. And if somebody says, well, why would they steal the fuel from our sun? Well, consider this. Maybe in their solar system, they like having a dying star. They like having a red giant. And the best way to keep that red giant going longer is to take fuel from other stars and feed it to this old red giant. So basically what we have is an old dying object that somebody's trying to keep alive as long as possible by stealing the energy from younger, newer stars. This is not an unusual concept. It's actually a very occult concept and parasitic concept, to feed on younger life in order to keep older life alive. So consider that for a moment, that this is a key element of the occult, of parasites, and of the empire, to steal and kill and take from the youth in order to give and keep alive the old, decrepit, decaying parasite. Thank you for watching.